Bună, mă cheamă Metatron. Ce mai faci? That was my, that's all the Romanian I know. All right, let's go, guys. It's language simp, language review Romanian. This is gonna be fantastic. I freaking love Romanians. If you're in the comments, you're from Romania, let me know. Let's go.
Bună ziua, tovarăși, și bine v-am găsit la un nou episod de Language Review pe OTV. Numele meu este îndrăgostit Lulia de limbi și sunt din Statele Unite. Azi vom discuta despre limba romană, otherwise formerly known as Russian Italian, Numanese, Moldovan, Draculan, or gender-fluid Latin.
Oh, gender fluid lad. Draculan is my favorite.
This is episode 19 of Language Review, a series where I go through the languages of the world and review them, sort of like a film critic or a video game reviewer. And at the end of the video, I'll give them an official rating from Dogwater to GigaChad on the simp scale.
So I always guess it. But with Romanian, I have no idea. It's 100%. It's not gonna be down here. 100%. It's not gonna be down here. Is he gonna go for alpha or is he gonna go for mid? This is what I'm thinking. So let's see if by the way he speaks, I'll decide.
Before we begin, to support me and join my exclusive language learning community, check out my Patreon. There are dozens of extra videos there, and we do weekly vocab challenges that I'd love for you to be a part of. If you enjoy this video, let me know which language you'd like me to review next in the comments, and without further ado, hi sign Chipin.
Romanian? I love Rome. It's so beautiful. It's my dream to visit that city.
Yeah, Rome is great, so naturally, so is Romanian. Romanian is mainly spoken in Rome, which is the capital of the Italian country of Italy. Ah, Rome, the most beautiful city in all of Europe. Just look at this architecture and urban planning. Wait, is that l'Arc de Triomphe? Is this Paris? No, this is Bucharest. Bun venit în Rai. Romanian is mainly spoken in Romania, a country that looks like a
That was actually a fantastic beginning.
fat potato chillin' in southeastern Europe. And this place is criminally underrated. Romania might just have the deepest and most interesting lore of any country. From
He's gonna give it alpha.
Vlad the Impaler, to communism, to dictatorships and revolutions. They've had it all. They build their roads like Mario Kart tracks. Their castles are humongous and the real Dracula lives in one of them. And then their parliament building is ginormous.
That's where Dracula lives, actually.
The dictator built the heaviest building in the world just to flex. But the people didn't like him that much, so they, made him stop being a person. And they aired it on TV on Christmas. And to this day, the building is still 70% empty. I really want to visit Romania to see the city of Cluj-Napoca, which is arguably the most beautiful and modern city in all of Eurasia. And everyone in Cluj has really jacked legs, because you can ride the bus there for free in the city if you do 20 squats in front of a camera. I wonder if it scans you and sends all your data to Palantir. But seriously, I've always thought Romania is so cool. Even just the name oozes aura, like Romania sounds like a fairy tale. And then Transylvania is a region there. What a fancy word. It's like Pennsylvania. Romanians are
Pennsylvania. Yeah, why do they sound so different? Transylvania, or Transylvania, like we would say it in Italian. I don't know how they say it in Romanian, to be honest. Let me know. It sounds like, wow, it's gonna be like mystery and what and all. Pennsylvania doesn't give you the same aura, though.
Chads. I mean, they even have the same flag as the country of Chad. I actually used the Chadian flag in the thumbnail. Did anyone notice? Then Romanian is also spoken in Moldova, but it depends who you ask. The name of the language in this country is very controversial. It was called Moldovan over there until 2013, when their highest court ruled that Romanian is the official language of Moldova. But the NPCs there do not agree. According to the 2024 Moldovan census, more people claim to speak Moldovan there than Romanian, by a decent margin. But the Moldovans I talk to seem to be ready to go to war to defend calling it Romanian. Regardless, Moldova is another very underrated place that I'd love to immigrate to. Their capital Chisinau looks interesting, and they have gorgeous scenery. But their biggest export is the greatest song of the 21st century, Dragostea din Te, otherwise known as the Numa Numa song. But I prefer to call the language Transnistrian, because it's also spoken in the rogue breakaway state of Transnistria, which is a little noodle of land between Ukraine and Moldova that is not an internationally recognized country. Yet. But honestly, if you ask them, I'm not even sure they want to be a country. These guys still think they're a part of the Soviet Union, even though they're technically in
It looks like they're part of the Soviet Union if this is the average building, to be honest. I'm not trying to shame anyone, but I am shaming the Soviet Union.
Moldova, and their government still officially calls the language Moldovan. And Slava Domnului, here in Freedom Land, we have over 150,000 Moldovan-speaking NPCs, who are all professional hide-and-seek players, because I swear I've never found one. I know there's a big debate in Moldova on if y'all should join the EU, or cozy up to Russian, or even unite with Romania, but hear me out. Come join us. We'll put you next to Florida to keep you warm.
Yeah, 51st state, let's go.
Moldovan's also spoken as a minority language in nearby countries like Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, and Ukraine, and there are big immigrant communities all over the place in Western Europe. So with over 24 million NPCs speaking the language natively, learning Romanian will unlock you barely any DLC at all. Probably because unlike the other Romance lingos, they didn't colonize everyone. Being a fan of Romanian feels like being a fan of an artist before they get famous. One day Romanian's going to be a global language, so now is a great time to learn it.
Yeah, I'll pass. I'm afraid of the Balkans, and Slavic languages are hard.
Well, good news, it's not Slavic. It's actually a Romance language.
Yep.
Okay, fuck you.
Romanian is kind of an oddball. It's the long-lost brother of the other big Romance languages like Mexican and Baguette. They were quintuplet orphans who were separated at birth. These guys were all adopted by stable, middle-class suburban parents, while Romanian was adopted by the kinda chaotic yet fun, unstable parents who got a fiery divorce. Divorce! She took the house, she took the kids. So nowadays, this language survives over there in isolation, and it's pretty darn impressive that it holds up while surrounded by Slavic lingos on all sides, and whatever the heck Hungarian is on its
You could tell the influence is there, but still.
left flank. So Romanian evolved separately from its brothers and was influenced by other nearby languages, and it kind of turned into this gnarly Slavic Romance fusion. So Romanians got the best of both worlds. They're lucky people. They literally have everything. A hybrid language, tasty sausages, cow stomach soup, and Romania even has some of the fastest internet speeds in the world. And speaking of the internet, this video is sponsored by CyberGhost VPN, a fantastic VPN that was actually founded.
All right, let's get the part where he shows the code. This. Okay, 84% off, guys. Come on.
84% off, and it comes with a 45-day money-back guarantee. I've been using it now for a while, and I can definitely recommend it. And clicking the link below and signing up for CyberGhost VPN will help me to continue to make videos like this one. Now back to Romanian. Now let's talk about dialects. Thankfully, the Romanian language doesn't have crazy diverging dialects that will make you rip your hair out like Arabic or German.
Or Italian.
They used to have more dialects, but communism, you know. Communism. But the biggest divide you are going to encounter is, of course, Romanian versus Moldovan. Standard Romanian is based on the Bucharest variety of the Wallachian dialect found in southern Romania, and this sounds neutral and is what you'll hear in the news and textbooks. Romanian in general sounds a bit harsher with stronger consonants, and it feels more Western European with loan words from countries where leaders are democratically elected. Then Moldovans speak Chinese Romanian. In Romania, they use a lot of che sounds, but the Moldovans often replace these with sh sounds. Like they literally have a phrase, shushi, which sounds suspiciously a lot like the way this white boy thanks his Filipino waitress at Denny's in Mandarin. I've also had Romanian NPCs tell me that they perceive Moldovan speakers the same way that us Americans would hear Irish people. They're definitely speaking the same language, but you gotta sit straight up and lock in a bit to understand. Moldova была частью Советского Союза, so they use an abundance of Russian loanwords that aren't common in Romania. This is second nature to these Moldovans because многие из них говорят по-русски. But in general, NPCs from both countries can understand each other pretty well. There are still smaller regional dialects, but linguists can't agree on anything, so in general...
A linguist can't agree on anything actually is valid as a commentary part for everything that comes to... Goodness gracious, linguists can't agree on everything. Yo, look at that road. Talking about Mario Kart.
People in Transylvania are like Americans living in the south with a southern drawl. Then speakers of the Banat dialect in western Romania leaking into Serbia have more of a Yugo...
I always liked this kind of... would be this in, so for instance, this accent in this area or this city or this region from this country would be the equivalent of this other accent in this other country and this other region. It needs I think, I don't know, let me know if it's right with the connection that he's made. I think it takes a lot of experience in both languages. I personally think I could do it actually between English and Italian, and I might do it one day. That could be an interesting video to make. But I do think it requires a deep understanding. Like if you don't speak the language, unless you ask someone who does, then maybe.
Slavian twang. But honestly, you're just gonna learn standard Romanian unless you run off
Yeah.
and marry a man in a small town in Romania. So now it's time to talk about the writing system.
Okay.
Romanian is written in a modified version of the American alphabet with 31 letters instead
So
of the
is the
original
American.
cast of 26. And that's because they have an additional 5 characters, which look like other normal letters in the alphabet, except these guys have cute little bonus features on them. Firstly, in addition to the normal A, they've got 2 extra A's with little symbols on top of them. The naked A makes the ah sound, like in father, while the A with a bowl on its head makes a
Yeah,
relatively normal moaning noise, like in about.
Yeah, it's basically the it's like kind of like the schwa, isn't it?
Then the A with the traditional Vietnamese cone hat on top makes a much gnarlier, deeper moaning noise, like ugh. It reminds me of ui in Russian, but not quite. It's more ugh. And then the last letter with
That actually sounds Slavic to me. That sounds specifically.
the hat is this I with the cone on top. And this makes literally the exact same noise as the A with the cone hat. Ugh. Yeah, they make the same sound. They're redundant. It's stupid and I do not like that. Apparently they use the A when it's in the middle of words and the I when it's at the beginning or end of a word. So technically the uppercase A cone hat doesn't exist. I better
Yeah, brother. I mean, I don't think I know it's comedy, it's sarcasm, but still, no English speaker has any leg to stand on when it comes to this because you use the letter O and you pronounce it as O in no. You pronounce it as a in glove. You pronounce it as o in pot. Of course, it changes depending on the accents, but hear me out. You pronounce it as u in two, and you pronounce it as a schwa in a lot of other scenarios. Conversation. It's the same freaking... Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, no, sorry. You pronounce it as a I in women, spelled still with the same O. That's insane.
not see it in the comments. It's banned. They should just use one letter, and since they're in Eastern Europe, just embrace the multi-ocular O. That thing oozes aura and would boost tourism. Numanese also has 2 letters that are furries with tails coming out of their butts.
They're not tails, they're commas. Don't mislead your audience.
Oh crap, I forgot. Those are definitely not tails. Many fonts to this day mess that up and make them look like attached tails, but
I imagine he got called out in the comments. That's what that sounds like to me.
there's really a gap there. If you accidentally connect it to the S, it'll look like a Turkish letter, and you know in that region of the world there's so much beef and drama, they don't want to be mistaken for Turks.
They'd rather be mistaken for Hungarians.
Oh yeah, that'd be fine. Romania and Hungary are best friends. Anyway, the S with the tail makes the sh sound, and the T with the tail makes the ts sound. Pretty useful letters that definitely simplify writing. The rest of the alphabet is not going to give you a hard time. The writing system is easy, unless you go to Transnistria where they use the Russian alphabet to write.
no.
Honestly, it's pretty dope seeing a Romance language written in Cyrillic. I speak French, Spanish, and Russian, so seeing this breaks my brain and feels immoral. The entire country of Moldova actually used to write in Cyrillic until после распада Советского Союза, when Western democracy, na boo boo, came and ruined everything. But compared to the Cyrillic they used up until the middle of the 1800s, this current script is some neutered dog water. They used to have glorious, ancient Cyrillic characters like these hundreds of years ago. My favorite being this
Man, imagine taking down notes. If you like, jot it down for a moment if you don't mind, and then you.
spider known as the Big Yus, which used to make that sound that the cone hat A and I sadly represent in 2026.
Sadly.
Yeah, those letters are definitely going to be the hardest to pronounce for learners. Like the word in Romanian is in. Well, that's convenient. But the I has a hat on it, so it's un with that deep grunt at the front. Learners also have troubles with the letter C in this lingo. If it comes before A, O, or U, it
That's a bit like Italian.
makes a hard K sound.
Yeah.
But before an
Yeah, see, they say casa. I would say casa in Italian or casa, depending on where you're from. So there's a difference in vowel. We don't have that type of schwa vowel.
E or an I,
It's not even a schwa, actually. That one is a different one. Well, whatever.
it makes the ch noise,
Just like
in
Italian.
che. But if you
Yeah.
put an H in between them,
It's a
now
K.
it gets hard again, like
Exactly like Italian. Hey, bravos from Romania. Love that.
K. And the pesky G does a similar thing, turning from a hard G noise in gust to a soft J noise like in giraffe.
You have to say that it's exactly like Italian. Come on, man.
I wonder what that one means. This stuff is really easy if you already speak pasta, because the Italians copied the Romanians and do the same sort of thing.
Oh, did we? But at least I meant, yeah, I do speak pasta.
So how does the Romanian language sound in general? Well, to the monolingual beta, it just sounds like Italian. In fact, if you close your eyes,
To me, it sounds a bit like, not like Italian. It doesn't sound like modern Italian, like the standard language. But it does sound like some regional dialects or regional languages of Italy. That's true. So there is that.
and pretend you're American, you'll probably think it's Italian. Hey, Tony, I'm from Italy. But for the distinguished listener, it sounds more like Italian and Russian met at a bar, went home together, and had a baby. And the baby then grew up with a special interest in his distant ancestors from the Roman Empire. You'll constantly be asking yourself, am I listening to Russian? Or did I time travel back to 20 AD? Or am I just in Minas Gerais? Because you'll often hear words like Foame and Tarziu, which sound so freaking Brazilian to me. In general, Romanian is gorgeous. It is a beautiful mixture of
agree.
so many things, but it comes together to still have its own unique identity.
Yeah.
And it is genuinely
It has personality.
one of my
as a
favorite
language.
languages to listen to on the planet.
Cool,
I
cool,
find
cool.
it so elegant, prestigious, and attractive, even when giant hairy men speak it. And Romanian music is just, oh my goodness, it is amazing. For such a small number of
pretty good.
speakers, they have musically mogged the entire universe. I love the genre called manele, which is like traditional Romanian party music. I'm especially a fan of Nicolae Guta, whose song A Opta Minune a Lumii is straight fire. It makes me so happy to listen to. And then, of course, the greatest song ever written in the history of mankind, I had to take my hat off just to say this, is the song by the Moldovan pop group Ozone, known as Dragostai din te. Please sing along with me. Vrei să pleci, dar numai e, numai e, numai e, chipul
Demonetized.
tău și dragostea din te, mi-amintesc de ochii tăi. Oh, this language just has such a dynamic range. You'll hear beautiful, whimsical, girly words like vrei să pleci, followed by dark, twisted, thick words like dragoste, which looks and sounds like dragon, but it
It does.
actually means love.
Are you joking?
I swear this language makes me feel like I'm in Skyrim sometimes. They won't shut up about
I kind of want to play some Skyrim after I finish this.
dragons, and the words look so emo and gothic. Like, look at this word. I guess my brain registers these accent markers as piercings that a Hot Topic employee would have.
That is so true.
Romanian is so metal. And then the Slavic influence in their vocab is awesome. One of the first words you'll probably want to learn in this language is hello. Nah, that's useless. Let's learn chainsaw, which is druzhba in Romanian. But
Druzhba.
druzhba means friendship in Russian. What? And then to say friendship in Romanian, you say prietenie,
It's gonna have to be, it has to be a false friend.
which is also extremely Slavic. But the most mind-blowing thing is that
Okay.
to say yes in the Romanian language,
It's da, isn't it?
you literally say da.
Yeah.
That is the king of Slavic words. But don't forget, this is a Romance language. So now let's look at the Latin influence.
All right.
Cum. Cum means how, and this has to be the most Latin-looking word I've ever seen. You'll hear many words and expressions with cum in this language, like oricum, precum, and nicicum. Really, the majority of words in the language have a Latin origin. Like in
Isn't it interesting that in classical Latin the M would be nasalized, so not pronounced? Apart from a little nasalization.
intensitate, which literally sounds more Italian than the Italian word for intensity, which is intensità. And they
Sì, intensità. That is actually true, intensitate. To me sounds Latin, but whatever.
often even say merci for thank you, just like the
Really?
Frenchies. But ironically, some of the phrases that come straight from Latin still sound really Slavic to me. Like bună ziua, which is an important greeting meaning good day. You're kidding me. Ziwa isn't Slavic? And then they have my favorite way to say and in any language. They say she, which just sounds so crisp when sandwiched between two nouns.
Yeah.
Bolsonaro, she Lula. The personal pronouns are very romancy, and I especially love that they have the same word for I that the Brazilians use. Except in Romanian, it's more like eu, while in Port, it's like ew. But warning, the U form
Brazilian is always so fun. Goodness gracious, I've got to pick it up. I need to finish my study of Mandarin once and for all, reach that freaking fluency, and then I should start Brazilian Portuguese. I need to do it. What's you formal?
pronoun is the most insane thing you
Okay.
will see this entire year. How do you go from the simple, informal tu to Dumnea vostra? It literally sounds like a Skyrim shout to summon the undead. And if someone called me that, I'd be checking my flank for dragons. And then a lot of random words are different between Romania and Moldova, especially food vocab for some reason. A Romanian is likely to say pepene verde for watermelon, but a Moldovan would say harbus.
That's so interesting, but believe it or not, with the watermelon, it happens in Italy too, because in standard Italian, there are already two ways to say it. So if you go around various regions of Italy, some will call it a cocomero, and others will call it anguria. In my experience, anguria is more used. But if you come to Sicily, we call it melone. So a bit like closer to English. But in the rest of Italy, if you say melone, usually it means like either the honeydew or like, yeah, that kind of melon, like the yellow one. Isn't that strange? So there is something, I guess watermelons are the Helen of Troy of contention among languages and different varieties and regional versions.
Then a tomato in Romania would be roșie, but in Moldova, they might say patlagica.
Interesting. In Italian, it's pomodoro.
I don't eat fruits nor vegetables, so I don't really care about that. And the last thing I'll say about vocab is that Romanian speakers love to talk about this town in Croatia. They always say the name of the city, and I don't know why. It's confusing. But do you know
You motherfucker. It's cheeky.
what else is confusing? Romanian grammar. Making plurals is annoying because there are like a billion different ways to form them that seem very frustrating because you just gotta memorize them all. Look at these. How does om turn into oameni? But at least this is the most socially progressive language on planet Earth. For starters, it has 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter, which is weird for Romance languages. But what makes this lingo such a pioneer in
The weird part being the neuter, of course.
social progress is that nouns can change their gender when they're made plural.
Yeah, but that happens in Italian too. It's rare, but it does happen.
Singular indefinite articles are un for masculine nouns and o for feminine ones. So a boy is un băiat, while a girl is o fată. And then a neuter noun behaves like a masculine one in the singular. So a hotel, even though it's neuter, is un hotel. But here's where the magic happens. If you want to say 2 of each of these things, you say
Or the surgery, depending on the point of view.
doi băieți, because doi is the masculine version of 2. Doua fete, because doua is the feminine version of 2. And then doua hoteluri, which also takes the feminine form of 2. But wait, it used the masculine article before. The word hotel got on HRT and transitioned between the singular to the plural
Unbelievable.
form. I'm an ally. I support that. And the definite articles are
Yeah, of course you are.
pretty crazy too. For the singular articles, the masculine one is ul, then the feminine one is a. And the neuter again copies the masculine in the singular. But the crazy part is that these definite articles are attached to the ends of nouns, just like in Swedish. So the
That's another one. Goodness gracious, if I were to choose a Scandinavian language, it would be either Swedish or Icelandic. One of the two. What would you choose, Swedish or Icelandic? Let me know in the comments.
boy is băiatul, with that ul attached. Then the girl is fata. And the hotel is hotelul. When we go to the plural forms, we use e for masculine nouns and le for feminine ones.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the rest of the grammar. I want to see what we're getting. Shock factor.
Okay, so now it's time to talk about shock factor.
All right.
How will native Romanian speakers react to you speaking their language as a foreigner?
Backflips?
Well, if you walk up to a Romanian expat in the US or Europe and you say something to them in Romanian, they're probably going to be confused. They'll ask, why on earth did you waste your time learning our tiny and irrelevant language? Have you not heard of Spanish? Then when you tell them, because I like the Numa Numa song, they're legally required to perform the entire ballad for you. But seriously, not a lot of people learn Russian Italian, so native-speaking NPCs will be quite bewildered when you tell them you're learning it. They'll be delighted to hear you making an effort, even if you only know simple phrases like Bună
Sounds exactly like the Romanians I know.
ziua and mulțumesc. But if you speak
Mulțumesc.
decent, conversational
I actually love that sound. That word for thank you. Mulțumesc.
Romanian to them as a foreigner, they will do backflips.
Yeah.
They aren't going to combust mid-backflip like the Chinese or insist that you take their house and all their possessions like Arabic speakers, but they will repeatedly flip, invite you into their homes, and give you sarmale.
Sounds
I
good.
could talk about gender-fluid Latin for 89 hours, but you've already heard enough,
right.
so it's time for me to
Let's
give
go.
the Moldovan language an official Language Simp certified
It was
rating
tough.
on the Simp scale.
I
On a
don't-
scale
I stick to my prediction. I think it's gonna say alpha.
of dog water to Giga Chad, I place Romanian solidly in the Giga Chad tier.
I was wrong. Wait, I thought alpha. He went Giga Chad. Goodness gracious.
Ever since I got into language
GG.
learning, I have always been fascinated with Romanian. It's spoken in such an interesting and underrated part of the world that I'd
Yeah.
love to immigrate to. And it sounds heavenly in the most gothic, dragonian, tough, yet flowy way imaginable. It's truly such a bridge language between East and West, but it comes together and has such a unique identity that oozes aura. Romance languages are popular, but everyone ignores the fifth most common.
That is so true. It actually pisses me off for the Romanians that people ignore them and as if it's not a Romance language. It absolutely is.
Common one, so you would be such a Chad if you studied it. The grammar can get a little toxic, but imagine how rewarding and satisfying it would be to speak Russian Italian one day. If you do the math, Romanian speakers only account for less than 0.5% of the world's population. So this language does not unlock you a lot of DLC, but that's precisely why natives will appreciate your efforts so much.
Yeah.
I strongly
Let him spin. It was fun. Loved it. And to all my Romanians, you guys rock. Romanian subscribers, really appreciate that. And let me know if you are considering learning Romanian or if there is any other language you're working on right now in the comments. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.
If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.